Hello, my beautiful angels. Josie Grouse here. Welcome to Soul Awakening channel. In this video, we are going to talk about numerology. This is the first video in the series about numbers, the science and secrets of life. And I know that you are ready. You're ready to discover who you really are because numbers tell you so much about your journey, about your life's path, about your destiny. So today we are going to talk about life path. And your life path is unique to you. Numbers reveal what lessons you're going to be learning, people that you are going to encounter. There's so many beautiful, interesting things that you can discover in numerology. So I've been studying numerology now for over 20 years. And in my psychic readings, I always ask for clients' numbers. I always want to know what numbers represent, what is the dominant number, what is the life path number. Personally, your number, there's so much that I can see just from looking at numbers. And today I want to reveal to you the uniqueness and specialness of life path, because this is one number that we all need to know, and it will help you to understand yourself and lessons you are learning in this lifetime. By the way, if this is your first time on this channel, welcome. I'm Josie Grouse. I'm the angelic medium, and here on this channel we talk about spiritual truths, spiritual wisdom, and inspiration. So be sure to subscribe to get more videos and to get more people to watch these messages. So, my beautiful angel, are you ready? So I want you to think about numbers as frequencies, because numbers in themselves do not really mean much. But when you understand the whole web of connection in the universe, everything can be looked at as a number, as a picture. And numbers are sort of messages, they're stories. There is a story that is going on in your life. And by discovering these numbers, you can discover the characters, the sort of the villains and heroes of your own life journey. So a life path is a cycle. So you are here and you know that there's something very special about you. You know that your life path is different from your family members, from your loved ones, from your friends. And that's because you are on your own unique journey. So the first things first, how do you calculate in numerology a life path? Simply by adding all the numbers of your birth date. Let's say here in my example, I have June 11th, 1981. It's actually my sister's birthday. Now, my sister is no longer with us, but her energy, she's my beautiful guardian angel. I always feel her, and I want to just simply acknowledge her in this video. I know that she is right here with me. So, June 11th, 1981. So that's just a set of numbers, right? You have your month, you have your day of birth, and you also have the year of your birth. So we have to do just to add all these numbers together. When you add these numbers, you will come to maybe a two-digit number in general. So be sure to reduce it to one single digit. Now, we're not talking about master numbers in this video, because numbers, they have dimensions. Today we're talking about foundations, and foundations is what's underneath, what's that subconscious level of you, your own personal consciousness, and how you evolve from that basic level. So first things first, your life path is telling you the lessons that you are learning in this lifetime. So all you have to do is to add all numbers together. You can do it right now. You can pause this video, get a pen and paper ready, and calculate your own life path. Now imagine when you are ready to dive into the physical world, right? You're in spirit, but you are ready for your incarnation. how do you choose, right? How do you make the decision that you will be, sort of in this environment, in this family, learning this lesson, in this body? So there's so many different nuances as you are just diving into the physical world. So for the soul, a number is just a vibration. When you choose a life, you choose to come into the world, you also choose a frequency to which you want to just dive right in. You want to just to dive in and come to on a certain level. Now, your life path is a static number, it will not change. There are things in numerology that you can say they're destined, and your life path is a destiny. So you got what you got. Life path number does not change, although some numbers in your numerology chart, they can be changed, such as if you change your name, and names letters can also be expressed as numbers. When you change your name, guess what will happen? Your destiny changes as well. And I know this because I've helped a lot of people change their names just to change that vibration, and their life changed, their situations changed, their health changed, a lot of things changed just from doing this one thing. But life path is a static number. It means it will not change. So the lessons that you're learning, you are going to learn them for the rest of your life. It's good news because you are just going to get better and better at recognizing the patterns. And patterns are always there. They're all in front of you. If you are conscious, you'll notice that it's something emotional, or maybe a relationship issue just shows up over and over and over again. And like, why me? Why am I stumbling on this over and over again? So numerology helps you to understand you, because you will be learning these lessons. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, numerology is going to give us that push. It's going to tell us, okay, in this lifetime, you are building maybe a spiritual foundation. Not every person is on a spiritual path. Not everyone joins a monastery and becomes a monk. So there's something in us that encourages us, that creates the yearning deep within, and the number of your life's path is that number. What am I here to learn? What am I drawn to? So when you get to this level of understanding, this is the basics. Remember, this is just the basics. There's so much more to learn in numerology. But if you don't know who you are, how can you change? How can you become, efficient in in your life's path? You don't have to learn the same negative lessons over and over again. You learn them, you move on. But if you recognize these patterns but you do not do anything, they just keep on repeating. So first things first, life path. Remember, it's a frequency. You dive into this world, and you're born on a certain frequency, and that's sort of how you're going to see the world. That's going to be your perspective, your perception. So to calculate your life path, simply add all the numbers of your birth date. And when you finish them, you may have a 2-digit number at the end. Simply add these last 2 digits. Let me give an example. My sister's birthday is June 11th, 1981. Her month of birth is 6 and her day is 11. So I'll add these first set of numbers, the day and month. I'll get number 8. And then I will have 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 comes to 19. So that's my second set of numbers, the year of birth. And what I will do then, I will add the month and the date to the number of the year. So these are all very simple calculations. Do not get overwhelmed. It's super simple. Now at the end, I got 27. I'll add 2 plus 7, and I will add, I'll get 9. So interestingly, numbers, when you really think about it, your life can just be described as a set of numbers. Who are you? Well, I was born on this date. And when you depart from this planet, the memory of you will be numbers. there's this someone who lived between these dates. So what is life then? Life is the dash between the birth and the death. So think about it. How how vital numbers are in our lives. And by the way, universe, and you know this, universe is communicating with you through numbers. The universe is giving you signs, is giving you specific repeating numbers. Just pay attention. 1111, and it rings the bell, right? You can't just ignore it. You can't just say, well, something up there. Universe is talking to you. Are you listening? When you understand yourself from numerics or a point of view, you are going to have an incredible life because you'll be at the right place at the right time. You will be doing the right thing. You will have the right mindset, and you will understand, more importantly, the lesson. I can see you guys in the chat. Monica come up with 10, so I think my life path is number 1. That's true. That's exactly. Brooke has got 7. Lots of love, you guys. Giving you my beautiful angels, my warmest hello. So it's super easy and super fun. Now, let's dive into life path numbers one by one. So this is an example. You can always do this video again, just watch it as a point of reference. But I promise you, the moment you understand your life's journey, life path number is it's an eye-opening experience. So, are you ready? I know you are ready. You guys see these repeating numbers. Trish, 1999. All right, I can see life path Natalie 4. Fantastic. All right. So, I'll start with number 1. Number 1. Let's just say here. We're using still this as an example. So, 1, you are number 1. So, if you're number 1, guess what? You are in the beginning of a cycle, and cycles run from number 1 to number 9. Okay, number 1 through 9, that's a cycle. And you'll see that you're learning very different lessons if you are in the beginning of a cycle or you are at the end of the cycle. Is this all making sense? Right? If you are number 1, you are in the beginning of a cycle. So, what does number 1 do in the beginning? It's a power, it's initiative, it's independence. You will be in your life learning a lot of lessons on your own because, 1 is a lonely number, but not in sort of sad way. It's because you are unique. You are very focused in your vision. When you have your own vision, you are driven internally. People don't understand you because they don't see what you see. And you can be looking into the future. You have this inner drive. Think of Steve Jobs. I don't know, by the way, let's say his life path number, but he always was this visionary, and people thought he was this unhappy, miserable, angry person who would yell at people, but he had this vision in his mind that he wanted to create. He had this idea and he wanted to manifest that idea that no one else could see, and he would demand something that people didn't even understand what he wanted from them. So you are also experiencing, if you are number 1, people don't understand you sometimes. Like, you are different. There's something about you that is so out of this world, and you have in you the power, the desire. That's very masculine numbers can be masculine and it can be feminine, not into gender identities here. It's just simply a description of the polarities. And 1 is a very generative number. It's a number that is proactive. You seek initiative. You want to be number 1 because that's what the nature of who you are. And if you have people number 1s in your company and you're not number 1, you will be like, you not like them because it feels like they're always trying to be ahead. They're always trying to get ahead of the train. and get more and always not happy with where they are. And that's because these numbers are intuitively driving us. They are encouraging us. They are pushing us beyond the boundaries. So if you're number one, your lesson is to learn to deal with people around you, is to trust yourself, because you are getting these ideas and intuitive intentions. God is talking to you, and you can bring up something of unique and new, something that is so refreshing that the world needs. Number ones, you are the leaders. At the same time, you have to remember to take care of yourself. You have to always retreat and remember who you are. You are a spiritual being in a physical body. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Don't get into competition or these competitive mind games. Simply have your vision and trust that this vision is unfolding in perfection. There's nothing else for you to worry about. Any number ones here? Let me know. So, Steve Jobs, number one, Russia. See, I was right. And you guys have number seven here. You have lots of sevens. Well, that's why, we're in spiritual channel right here. 771. Brooke is okay. So if you don't know your life path number, simply look at this calculation, June 11th, 1981. Just add all the numbers. Well, this is my sister's birthday, but you can use your own date, please. So, and think of, just go within. This is an internal exercise of intuitive nature. So the number seven is a vibration. Number three is a vibration. Number one is a vibration. So if you are number one, get ready. It's going to be a roller coaster of life. So, number one. Now, let's move to number two. And number two is a number of relationships. Okay, this is a number that, think of duality. It was one cell in the beginning, and then the cell splits into two, and division begins. Think of human body starting just from one. Think of everything else in the universe being just a singularity, unity, and then started to divide. We're here, we have so much duality, right? We have night and day, we have men and women, we have different, these contrasts, and everything else actually exists as a contrast. You don't know something without its opposite. So let's say pain and pleasure. You cannot understand pleasure unless you are comparing pleasure to pain. Okay, that feels good. That feels right. That's a pleasure. Oh, that does not feel right. That's pain. So it's all the double in the, they have abundance and poverty. You have health and sickness. So we always constantly have this contrast. If you are number one, if your life path is number one, by the way, it looks like it's a sperm. Let's make it look like a two. Okay, still looks like a sperm, but nevertheless. So number two, you remember you are here to learn the other. You are not just you. You're not here alone like number one. Number one was like a lonely number. But number two is now you're in this lifetime, you are learning the lessons of relationships. And we all learning, by the way, the lessons of relationships. It's not something special, but for you, if you are number two in this lifetime, you'll have to go through a whole range of different emotional relationships, from personal soulmate relationships, romantic relationships, to partnerships, to business partners, and so on, being in partnership with others. You learn to make partnerships, but you also will bring other people in. That's one of your gifts. So in this lifetime, you learning through relationships. The most profound relationships that we have are the soulmate relationships, the romantic relationships, because they are they fulfill us on this deep soul level, so to say. And when you are receiving love from another person, you also learning to give that love to another person. You cannot just receive and receive and receive. You also are learning the lesson of giving. And the lesson of giving may not always be easy for you, because we are not wired to be givers. We are actually wired to be self centered. That's our nature. That's how we were created in the beginning. So, on the spiritual path, we learn to let go of our little ego, and we learn to expand. We learn to invite other people in. And ego is an individual, right? And indivisible. But now you understand that you are also part of the whole. So on the very intimate level, these relationships are people closest to you. And sometimes if you're number two, it's also a number of you being, learning through conflicts, because one is kind of a unity number and two is now the energy of, okay, competition. It's me versus you. It's two egos. It's two separate parts. And when it's seen that way, it does create conflict. But your job as a number two is to bring togetherness, is to create unity from two back to one. Is that you want to take life as as you observe it, as it's present around you in your own life, in the lives of other people, and you accept them, you welcome these lessons, and you learn through relationships. If you're number two, you're really learning through relationships. So, how are you guys doing? So, I can see Megan is number three. And okay, there are some twos here. I can see that. Number nine. Fantastic. My number ones. Sabrine, number eight. Fantastic. Awesome. So that's number two. Let's look at number three. Number three. Numero tres. And number three, that number is a number of expansion. It's like, now think like in the story. Remember I told you that numbers are stories. In the storyline of numbers, like say a mommy and daddy had a baby. So it's an expansive state. It's all like Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So Holy Trinity. Now we're bringing the third element into the duality. And for you to add something in, that's again to add the next layer or the next level. So think of number one is that first original layer. Now you move into number two, and then, no, number three. And then number three, you add one more element. And when you add this active element, things really, really move. This is a very creative number. If you're number three, you'll know you're always interested in things. You're curious. Many number threes that I know, they're always learning something. They're enrolled in some kind of a program. They're learning some kind of a life lesson, one way or another. So if you are number three, you will have the need in you, the desire to expand and to learn. And you'll be very proactive, creative. If you're an artist, look and see if you are actually number three, or you have threes in your chart. That's very, it's almost like exploring possibilities. What am I capable of? Now I've created these relationships as a two, but now what am I going to do next? Where do I go? It could be, a hobby. It could be you actually creating the next level of work, of business, something that is also very creative, nurturing. It's fun. The word, three is usually it's it's a jolly kind of state. It's a jolly number. It doesn't mean that you always kind of return to that state, but you were born into it. If you're a number three, you'll know that it's in you. You are learning to grow. You're educating yourself. You're constantly evolving. You're involved in all kinds of programs and community centers. You're always on the board somewhere. So if you're number three, you're also very creative. You can just pick a pen and paper and start writing or drawing. You have this beautiful ability to bring more light into the world, bring that third element, your talent. Now you're bringing your talent into the world, which is now opening you to new possibilities, new opportunities. So, beautiful angels, there are number threes here. Let me know. So we got number three, solar calendar, lunar calendar 7. That's interesting. So number threes, any of you? So if you are number three, you know who you are because it just rings true to you. All right, so number four. Number four, if you are number four, that's a number. Think of a table. When I think about number four, I think of a solid structure, such as a table, something that's just not moving. So, and that's who you are. If you're number four, you are building the foundation. So number four is very closely related to planet Earth. Like number two, by the way, if I'll do another video on planets and numbers. It's really fascinating. But think of Earth and everything is just grounded and the foundation and material number just as well. So this is the number that helps you to accumulate. So now you went from being independent, holding partnerships as a two, expanding as a number four. Now you have to put it together. Now you have to create something tangible. A lot of the number fours are people who have a good relationship with physical resources, such as money, such as material things. They actually love material things. They enjoy things of the earth. One thing about number four is it's also the number when it comes to work. You are building that foundation, but you're also building it by doing work. It doesn't just show up on your path. You're not winning lotteries here. Usually, number four, everything that you create in your life is done through work, physical work, because physical work is that nature of that life on earth. So you'll be a hardworking person who just loves, workaholic, someone who has a healthy or maybe unhealthy relationship with material world. But also a number four can be like a strength, someone who is very strong. They're physically strong. They have stamina. If you need to cry your heart out, you probably have a number four friend who can withstand anything. And number fours are not very empathetic, so to say. Number four is like, yeah, you're in pain, get over it. Just get over it. So that's the approach of someone who is a number four. Number fours, we are number 8, by the way, me personally, but number 4 is also very solid. They are the builders of this earth. A lot of really wealthy people, if you look into their life path, many of them have 4 somewhere. And it's likely their life path. I know Warren Buffett, for example, is a 6. But check into it. It's just one curious thing to do. So if you're number 4, you are the foundation builder. You are strength. You are that earth power. So moving on to number 5. How you guys doing? Let me see if you have any number 4. Number 4's here. Let me scroll up. Natalie. Okay, Natalie was number 4. All right. So, Natalie, can you let me know in the chat? Does this resonate? Do you feel like you are that sort of builder foundation person? Okay, Carrie. Okay, Cheryl son is number 4. Carrie kid is number 4. Awesome. You know how stubborn they are, by the way? Like Earth people, they're just like super stubborn. So, if you're number 5, the key word is just one word to number 5: freedom. If you are number 5, your core value is freedom, is being almost attached to freedom, being independent. It's very changeable, very movable kind of energy when you're number 5. And a lot of number 5s have hard time settling in a relationship, in one job. So if you are number 5, remember that you are also a change maker. You are also taking everything that you've built. Remember, we're talking about stories, numbers of stories. When you built that life for you in number 4, now in number 5, you are now going to take it to the next level. It's about not being attached to everything that you have created in your stability, in your security. It's actually being the opposite of that sometimes. It's being independent and saying, stuff does not define me. My location does not define me. My family does not define me. I'm not defined by my community. I am defining myself. I know who I am. So, if you're number 5, one of the most difficult things for you is to be focused. Many number 5s, they are getting so bored very, very quickly, and they put a lot of their attention on things. I start something, but then I get so tired of it, I get so bored out of it from it, and you just move on to something else. So just learn that you are here in the physical world, and commitments are important, although it's not an easy thing for you to commit. A commitment of any way is going to be sort of a person, like a prison. So what you are learning, this is all good. Remember, every number, every life path is there to teach you something. You're learning through this path. Now, maybe in your past life, you were number 2 and you learned through relationships. So now you're number 5 and you're learning to become more, come back to you in every relationship. Even if you are in a relationship with someone, you'll be very independent. You'll be like, okay, I am, I like my space. If you're in a workplace environment, you're always thinking about the next thing, the next best thing. Even in a company, you can be saying, okay, can we do it differently? I think we can manage it in a very different way. We can become more efficient, stuff like this. I've seen a lot of number 5s in like corporate jobs. They're very like, this is not working, let's do something else. This is not working, let's do something else. It's because there's this inner drive for you to become solo, and also have, like, questioning, how can we change it? This is not working, or this is too, it's not going into the future. This is not future thinking. This is just to make sure it works now, but let's talk about the future, bringing new ideas in. And that's who you are, number 5. So I'm number 5s. Natalie's number 5. Okay, awesome. Natalie, yes, resonates with me. Workaholic, trying to build stability. Well, my beautiful angel, that's who you are. So let's continue. We are moving to number 6. As a reminder, if you were just joining in, we're talking about numerology, and this is your life's path. Life path number 6. Life path number 6, if you were number 6, it's telling you about you're here to learn through commitments. Number 6 in general speaks about commitments. which means contract, jobs, stability is important to you. And a lot of sort of number sixes come from uh, having unstable homes, having some kind of problem childhood where they did not see stability, when they have not seen commitment. They could have like a father who left early, or they, seen addictions in the family. So a lot of number six are born and they're determined. They're committed, and they're committed to make life good. They want to make life good for themselves and people around them. So a lot of number sixes will choose like traditional things. They will choose to have a family, and in a very traditional way. If you are dating number six, and if you're number five and you're freedom oriented, and someone you're dating is number six, well, I have to tell this to you because it's better, sooner than later. You'll know that someone who is a number six will want a commitment. They don't want to, just like Shania Twain, I don't want you for a weekend, don't want you for a night. I'm only interested if I can have you for life. So that's you, that's number six. And also, someone who's number six, that's someone who runs in sort of a very structural way. I need to know things. I don't like surprises. I'm not going to be surprised by anything. So someone who's six, they like to also create stability and comfort, something that gives them a sense of belonging, sense of I'm attached to this. I love this. This is my home. This is my job. This is my city. This is my community. So a lot of you number sixes will awaken to take the power in your hands, and not to become anyone else's puppet on the strings. You know who you are, and you're very, very determined. And you are going to also maybe overcome the victim mentality, as if maybe you've seen in your life difficult problems, and you've seen maybe such disharmony that you are sure you can be a victim, but you don't want to be. It's like your choice is to become, you make a commitment to something better. And it's you deciding. No one else can tell you what to do. No one else is going to put the thought in your head. You're just like, I went through so much in my life, and that's it. I'm done. I'm not a victim. I'm not going to play a victim anymore. So if you are in my life, if you are entering my space, you have to commit. I'm not taking you just for a weekend. This is a commitment. So let me know, number sixes, if you resonate with this information. Carrie's number six. So I am two, boyfriend five. That's, well, look, it's not that it's help. It's what do you want? What kind of person do you want to be with? That's what you eventually have to be asking. Remember what I said in the beginning, life path number is a static number. It doesn't change, which means that someone who is born with a life path number 7, they always have the tendencies of number 7. Someone who is born number 1, no matter what you want to do, no matter how you want them to be listening to you, but they won't. It's not in their nature. The same thing, if you're number 5, your core value is independence, is being not attached to situations, to people. Don't engage with someone who has different set of values. Speak about your needs. It's okay if you have number 6, and maybe in this relationship it will work. But you have to understand that these numbers really, they show us something. They speak about a nature of that frequency. It's not an accident, that some of us are born number 1, some of us are number 3s. And that's because you're perfectly where you are supposed to be. So from life experience, you click with people instantly, and sometimes you're being repelled by people instantly. Like, what's up with that? Numerology can tell you a lot about these numbers. Okay, so Michelle is number 7, Carrie is number 3. All right. Awesome. So yeah, kids, everything more and more and more. Karen, you'd ask six guy, not a one. Well, you never know. It's sometimes we think it would just we want someone who is able to commit, but when they're so into their six space, maybe you'll find them a little bit boring. Soul individual guys, it's all very. You can be number six, but you can be absolutely an incredible partner. So continue with number. So my old numbers, by the way, look the same because my handwriting is. I want you to see the screen, so I'm trying to write as so it just you guys can see what we're talking about. Number seven. Number seven. If you are number seven, now seven is a very special number in numerology. Number seven is a number of well, some numerologists actually say it's a number of God for various different reasons, and we generally refer to seven as some spiritual dimension because number seven plays, it has a lot of very special significance when it comes. Think of like 7 days of the week, seven chakras, and so on. There is a reason for number seven. And seventh path is someone who actually takes that more of a spiritual approach to life. And spirituality, think of self awareness. Spirituality is not you doing yoga. Spirituality is not you just all of a sudden, becoming a vegan, or it's all good things for you're doing in that sense. But spirituality is the journey of self awareness. Is that asking deeper questions like, who am I? What is the point of this? What is the point of my life? Where do we go after this life's journey is over? Where do we come from? No, seriously, where do we come from? I want to know where do we come from? If you're number seven, you'll have the answer. If you're number seven, you'll be asking these questions all the time because it's like your nature. Your nature is to really dive deeper. Now you can check that. I think, say, Deepak Chopra is number seven. His life path is number seven. Now, seven sometimes reminds me of a hermit, someone who is in this world but not of this world. And a lot of number sevens sometimes struggle. They introverted because they have this whole world within them, and they are just seeing everything through that lens of some existential perception that they have on life. What is this for? A war somewhere in the world. What a silly thing to do. Can't we just be loving? And these kinds of questions will arise if you are number seven. But think of also if you have a partner who is a number seven and you want them to, hey, let's go out, let's have fun, let's go dancing. And they're like, no, no, I'm just going to do 7 o'clock meditation. Like, what are you talking about? So the spirituality for everybody is a path of self-awareness, knowing who you are. That's it. If you know who you are, then the whole existence makes sense. So you guys, any sevens? Michelle is number seven. That's awesome. Gary, you have 5 grandkids with seven. Whoa. Well, see, this is kind of like a spiritual channel. Raj, yeah, there you go. Deepak Chopra is seven. So right again. Bing. Kate is seven. Very true. Always used the line from Shakespeare with 16. To thine own self be true. Know thyself. So another seven. You guys are awesome. I'm in number 8. So let's talk about number 8. So number 8 is the number of, think of 4, back to number 4. Think of a chair or a table having 4 legs. This is a structure that is solid. Now we take number 4 to the next level, and it becomes this infinity sign, number 8. Number 8 is the number of karma. And I've gone through so many numerology readings to understand it. Now, karma, that is a payoff. You reap what you saw towards the end of the cycle. Now we're moving towards the end of the cycle. It's a 9 number cycle. So we started with number 1 and we're moving towards number 9. Number 8 is, of course, towards the end of the cycle, and it comes from like a really deep reflection of number 7. So number 8 is you reap what you saw. If you have invested good, you'll get good returns, and karma will reward you. It's not a sort of a punishment mechanism. It's not. It's simply a law of cause and effect on a very basic level. So if you have been investing, let's say, in a business, if you were really contributing and you were working and you didn't quit, you didn't get sidetracked, and you really spent your time and heart and energy, number 8 usually brings you great rewards. That's when big money comes in. If you read Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, there are some, he talks about big money. It's like where all of a sudden big money appears to someone who has been thinking and grown rich at some point in time. They all experience this absolutely incredible moment when a lot of finances just land, and they're just wondering, where was it hiding? Why didn't it appear before? Like, where was it hiding? And it's because now, okay, that's the reward. It's the reward for what you have put in. So in the same way, if you the relationship in year 1 was a struggle and you did not fix it and it was really turmoil, it's likely that year 8 will become a nightmare. So which intent, like in terms of the universe is telling you quit. The universe is really telling you this is not working. And in year 8, a lot of your sort of underlying issues show up as well, such as if there were any secrets, they will show up in year 8. If there were anything that you didn't want your, let's say, partner to know, or things that you were not communicating clearly in year 8, these issues are going to be like, they will appear. Think of Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart, Raj, can you do me a favor and check if Martha Stewart is number 8? I'm pretty sure she is. Now, Martha Stewart is a number 8 path. And the number 8 can reward you immensely, especially with things like finances and money, but it also can cause a lot of really serious problems. So with Martha Stewart, she had this huge, enormous success in the material level. But as a number 8, you do not take chances because karma is going to get you. If you're number 8, you cannot do dishonest things. Well, first and foremost, let's be clear. Let's be honest. Let's put integrity and love as our high values for all the numbers. That is double, triple true for number 8, because if it comes back to you, it comes as big reward or comes as a big punishment. So with Martha Stewart, she had to go to jail for things that were discovered about her business. So that's number 8. Number 8 also a very someone who has a really good grip on reality, someone who is very good at managing things, resources, organizing, always being very kind of putting themselves in the leadership position, in the management position. So if you're number 8, you'll always be sort of a leader, in character. Unlike number 1, number 1 is a visionary. Number 1 is not so much of a leader or organizer. They're more visionary. They just see things into the future. Number 8, it's like, how do we manage resources? How do we make this work? How do we create teams, companies, organizations? If you're a number 8 teacher, your class is all reporting to you like, yes, sir. Your teacher number 8, Every child is organized. Like your workflow is very, very efficient. So that's number 8. And the learning through number 8 is to learn to organize and to really live with integrity, live by your highest values. Any number 8? Sure, Martha Stewart, number 8. Thank you. Thank you. So, Natalie, number 4, and daughters, number 8. Brooke, yep. Maria is number 5. Awesome. Is the same number with my husband? Is the hubby in this relationship? Sure. Look, if you guys are together and this is fun for you, you're really loving this, why not? If it works. Now we're moving to last but not least, number 9. And number 9 is the end of a cycle. Okay, so this is now we're coming to the end. Someone who had number 1 has this new energy, as someone who was just internally driven. Number 9 is actually the opposite. It's someone who now becomes aware. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to simply stop doing? You will find that the needs change from being self-centered as number 1. Now you are moving to number 9, and now you want to help others. You want to be of service. You have this deep need in you to contribute. It's not about you anymore. And it's really about helping the world. It's helping someone else beside you. If you are number 9, you're likely a humanitarian, or you're saving someone. Could be saving animals. If you ever drive over a squirrel, you're just gonna get up and pick it up and take it home and try to nurse it into health and so on. Number 9s are the completion, the cycle that we want to go back to the idea of oneness as much as possible. And we want to stretch our ego. We want to remove ourselves from separation. We want to become like our original source. We want to become not the self oneness, but one with the energy that has created us. So call it God, call it whatever you want to call it. But number 9 is the return to the big self, from the small self in number 1 to the big self of number 9. So there are a lot of people in health profession who are number 9s. They're true, genuine, right? They want to really be of service, be of help. One thing that I noticed with number 9s is that they don't have a lot of motivation. They have to be really motivated to do things. And it's because, they've been around, they've seen it all. And they sometimes they're just lazy. I don't want to do it because I don't have to. It's not about me. I'm okay. I don't. I just want to help other people. So that sort of mentality also develops if you are a number 9. So you guys, any number 9s here? My mom is number 9. 14-year-old son is number 8. Here you go, mom. Mom is 8. Okay, number 8. In the beginning, number 1, and I'm at the end 9. Good luck. This is interesting. Do you see how we choose our partners? We are learning something. Let's say number 9, like your lesson is to become selfless, so to say, right? Get rid of all of that, sort of ego limitations. And someone in your life who's number 1, who is all about self and all about vision. So that's designed that way. There are no accidents. You choose partners who are perfect for you, for your life's path. So, yeah. Monica just looked up and I can get my boyfriend motivated to go to the gym. That's a good start. So number 8, Sabrine, awesome. Number 9, Richard, 9, Rush, 9, awesome. So you guys, this is your Numerology 101. We talked about life path. Next time we meet, I want to talk about personal year. And a personal year is very, very significant because you're also going through cycles in your life. And even though these lessons never change, it's something, the energy you always have to deal with on some level. Your personal year is a year that everything changes for you every single year. And that's the next level numerology. It's going to be the next class with us. Please join me, and thank you for tuning in today. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do me a favor and subscribe, share these videos with someone who needs to learn this information. I love you. Have the most extraordinary day on planet Earth. I'll chat with you soon.